Alright, so it's been a while since we've kind of introduced everybody's favourite miniature David Brown to the world. And I guess it's time now to start the Mark II, the one we've been planning for ages, and kind of, the next addition to the stable. So kind of with this build, what we're trying to do is we want to tie it in with the All Terrain Lawn Tractor Forum's annual Buildoff. So it will be done in that vein. We're going to use an outdoor power equipment engine. We've had that big V-twin sitting around for a while now. But the new direction we want to go with this one that we haven't took before, and not really that many people do go, is we need it to be a bit more capable at speed, off-road. And for that, really, you're talking about suspension. I mean, the wee tractor, it's really is built for a racetrack, for a drag strip. We end up using it in fields and kind of farmyards and gravel tracks and all this stuff. And really, it's getting the kicked out of it. So yeah, we need to build something that was kind of a bit more bespoke or a bit more designed for that purpose. We need more power. We need that ability to kind of to tackle the rough terrain when the going gets rough. So yeah, this is the introduction to the Super Bee. Okay, we're kind of finishing off the Thunder tractor here. It's all just out of paint and trying to pin that back together. But this is the one we're after today. This is what we're talking about. So kind of as an overview, what's going on here. We've got this. Well, we'll start at the engine. That's the easiest place to start. This is a Briggs & Stratton Vanguard V-twin. It's a 16 horsepower, which is kind of at the smaller end of the scale. But one was available, and we picked it up kind of for reasonable money. If somewhere along the lines I want to go bigger, it's the same fitment down below. So we could go maybe as big as a 35 horsepower standard one, and then start tuning that there. If I got a bang to the head and decided that was a great idea. So it's a completely bone stock engine, with the exception obviously of these two rather obvious additions. These are two malt carbs off pit bikes, and really the only modification I've done to the engine at this point is actually making the little rings to put them on. But yeah, those are just like standard kind of pit bike carb, what you would get on like a 140 or a 150 engine. What we were looking to do with this engine, from a viewpoint of creating more power, besides these carbs obviously, is we're going to go down the kind of route of creating more torque. So if you see here, I've whipped off the original pickups, little coils that go on there. And what we're going to do is I have two of these yokes here. And this is one of the ignitions that we use in the little white tractor. And what it is, it's a self-contained CDI and coil unit. So what we're going to do is, where we did have these little coils going on in here, we'll actually just put little flywheel pickups and then run these DC ignitions. And what they'll do is they'll create a slightly stronger spark, but more importantly, they'll advance the spark as it goes through the rev range. The upshot of that is you should create more torque. That's what the hovercraft boys in the UK are actually doing at the moment. They're using this kind of setup with twin carbs, and they're creating their machines to just do torque rather than going the lightweight flywheel route and kind of getting them to rev to the moon. Let me see. We'll go around a little bit to the midsection here, underneath the steering wheel, which I also picked up. Get a 700 Peerless transmission. It's looking pretty likely that is going to be my transmission of choice. It's going to be quite a short run between the pulley on the engine and the pulley on the transmission, so that might be an issue. Hopefully I'll be able to sort some kind of clutch system out in that short space. That'll be a bit of trial and error. If all else fails, we'll go centrifugal. I really don't want to go centrifugal because I like to have a manual clutch. We got this go-kart seat in here. Now, with the little white tractor, actually you sit really low anyway, and there's no real issue if you're falling out of it. But we kind of wanted to see how low we could get the driver. You know, we're going to pay a bit of a weight penalty with this engine. It is a fair bit heavier than the motorbike engine we were using before. So the thought behind the go-kart seat mounted low is we'll try and get the driver's weight as low down as we can, and hopefully that'll kind of claw back some of the high centre of gravity that kind of we pay for with this big engine. Also, what we want to try and do is get the engine, the driver and the transmission all kind of as compact as possible, closely knitted together, so it's kind of one big mass, and then get it as far towards the rear as we can. So going on to the rear, right, so the kind of idea with this one is we want to go suspension on it, but I don't want to go like a single swing arm kind of quad bike kind of deal. I want to build a 4-bar link. Right. So we've got a 30mm hollow cart axle here, and over the top of it, that's actually just a piece of exhaust tubing to show what I'm looking to do. I'm going to have a piece of tubing like this, and at either end of the tube I want to have a flange, and on each of the flanges, if we go over this axle that's off the Thunder tractor here, it's a little self-contained go-kart bearing unit. We're going to bolt a little bearing unit here and a little bearing unit here. We'll have an upright going on here and here with a drag link running forward on the top, and then at the bottom, this is what this center piece is for. There will be a mount on the center piece with a diagonal link going that way and that way, and that will form the basis of the 4-bar link for the back of this thing. Try and keep it as simple and as lightweight as possible. There'll be obviously a bit of a structure up the back here to support shocks, and it's probably going to need an anti-roll bar. I don't want a whole load of axle flex on it, because really for something you want to oversteer, what you want to do is try to minimize the roll at the back, so kind of go stiff anti-roll bars. But I like the idea of a 4-bar linkage compared to a swing arm, in that I feel I can make it lighter and yeah, potentially a little bit stronger actually. So that's what's going to go on at the back. With regards to the drive, we're going to have a chain drive running along one side of the seat, and then the disc brake on the other side to kind of balance it up weight wise. This 700 transmission will actually need to have a little extension shaft built into it out of the output. That'll run down the side. Chassis wise, I want to go ladder chassis, same kind of idea as what we've got here. Like a channel section. The channel section will really have to go from about here to the back of the seat. Then we'll have to have a subframe going on to kind of support the shocks. And then at the front, a similar kind of setup again. A subframe just to support the shocks, and what will be a double wishbone suspension thing going on at the front. It'll kind of look like a Baja truck. And kind of the bulk of the cross axle will come from this front end, and that's kind of what I'm thinking of right now. Parts wise, it says I got the engine, the transmission, which is going to need tweaked with here, wheels, tires, seat, axle. I got these shotgun ignitions, carbs, a load of little cables and things like that there, just tiny stuff that I kind of knew from building the white tractor I would need for this one. But beyond that, it is actually totally fabrication, including the bodywork. So if you've seen kind of the way we did the little David Brown, that is kind of the same way I'm looking to do the bodywork on this one here. And I have a tractor in mind. I'm not going to give the game away just yet, but yeah, it's going to look pretty gnarly. And the aim is 60 miles an hour across a field. Now I've done 40 miles an hour on the white one across a field, and it is terrifying, but I liked it. So 60 miles an hour it is. So yeah, this is day one. Here we go. It should be fun. All right.